Hello students, welcome back to Saurabh's classes. So in this video we are going to solve the question number 27. It says that consider two real valued function f and g is given. Fx is equal to x by x minus where x greater than 0. Fx is equal to x by x minus 1 where x greater than 1 and gx is given by 7 minus x square where x belongs to R. So which of the following option is correct? First option says that neither f inverse exists nor g inverse exists. Option B says that f inverse exists but g inverse does not exist. Option C says that f inverse does not exist, g inverse exists. Option D says that f inverse and g inverse both exist. So for this, first of all, we know that a function is invertible if and only it is bijective. So to check whether f inverse exists or not, we just need to check whether f is bijective or not. So let's start with fx. Fx is equal to x by x minus 1. Okay, so let's just choose a point y belongs to y. So fx is equal to y implies x by x minus 1 is equal to y. So x is equal to xy plus y x minus 1. So the value of write this x minus xy is equal to minus y. So I can write this xy minus x is equal to y. So x is equal to y by y minus 1, right? So x is equal to y by y minus 1. So as you can see that, so you cannot put y is equal to 1, right? So but if if you choose y belongs to this set 1 to infinite, you will get x which has a preimage. You will get a x which is a preimage of y under f, right? So f such that 1 to infinite to 1 infinite is on 2, right? Okay, in other way you can observe this, just tend x to 1 minus you will get infinite, and tend x to infinite you will get the limit is 1. Okay, then f is on to from 1 infinite to 1 infinite. Now let us see the injectiveness of it. If f is injective, then in this interval f is invertible, right? So that is the it is the domain of f, right? So let's talk about the injectiveness of f. So fx is equal to x by x minus 1, right students? Now let me find f dash x. So f dash x is equal to x minus 1 into the derivative of x minus x into x derivative of x minus 1 by x minus 1 is whole square. So which is equal to minus 1 by 1 minus x whole square. Now for any value of x, whenever it is less than 0, for all x belongs to 1 to infinite. So I can say that f dash x is less than 0, hence f is monotonically decreasing, or it is strictly less than 0, it is strictly monotonically decreasing. So f is strictly monotonically decreasing, right? And hence I can say that f is injective. Any strictly monotonically decreasing function must be injective. So if in this interval is onto as well as injective, so f in this interval is bijective, and hence f inverse exists in its domain. So f inverse exists, so I can discard option A as well as option C. Now let us talk about the inverse of g. So gx is equal to 7 by minus x cube. So let us take a point y belongs to R. So g of x is equal to y implies 7 minus x cube is equal to y. Now observe that y is a real number, y is a fixed real number, and hence it is a cubic equation in x. Is a cubic equation in x, right? So we know that any cubic equation must have a real root. So there exists x belongs to R such that fx is equal to gx is equal to y, and hence I can say that g is onto. Right, students? So g is again onto. Now let us talk about the injectiveness of g. Gx is equal to 7 minus x cube. So g dash x is equal to minus 3x square, which is again less than 0 for all x. Okay. So I can say that for all x not equal to 0 actually. So I can say that g is injective again. In other words, you can observe the injectiveness of g. Just choose g of x1 is equal to g of x2. It means that 7 minus x1's cube is equal to 7 minus x2 cube. It means that x1 cube minus x2 cube is equal to 0. So it is x1 is equal to x2 or x2 omega or x2 omega square, right? This is the solution of this cubic equation. Now as x1 and x2 both real numbers, so the only possibilities is x1 is equal to x2. So if x1 not equal, contrapositively x1 not equals to x2 implies g of x1 is not equal to g of x2, and hence g is also bijective. G is also bijection. Keyword bijection, and hence g is also invertible. G is again invertible. Right, students? So both f and g is invertible. So you can see that f and g are invertible is our option number D. So I can say that option D is our correct option. Right, students? I think you got this problem. So in this video we have solved the question number 27. In the next video we are going to solve the question number 28. Okay? So thank you so much for watching this video. So let's solve the question number 28.